On Tuesday night, the Boston Celtics ran out what many believe will be their new look starting five. Jrue Holiday, Derrick White, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis. This meant bringing Al Horford off the bench, which the team had refused to do in the preseason before Tuesday. But the team ran Porzingis as the lone big man for the first time, and it looked really good. For a team that just got put together, the chemistry is actually kind of insane. There's a lot of ball movement, and open shooters are hit for threes, and they usually make them. It was a 70-point first half for Boston, and the offense continues to look very good. Tatum was back to his dominant ways, and as he has all preseason, Kristaps Porzingis looks like a star for Boston, and the number 2 to Tatum. No offense to Jaylen Brown, but Porzingis looks better than him right now. He's spacing the floor, throwing down on people, and swatting shots. With the Celtics starting 5 in the game today, every single player could take their defender one-on-one, and are all threats that you can't leave alone. This makes it extremely difficult to double team anyone, which makes the game much easier for Tatum. It was just a game against the Knicks backups on Tuesday, but when the Celtics were playing their main guys, they looked dominant. Based on plus-minus, the team's best lineup would actually have been Payton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Tatum, Porzingis, and Al Horford. It's kind of a switch from the small lineup they started to more of a big lineup that was working. Pritchard has continued to play very well throughout the preseason and is going to be very important for the team this season. He's taking a big step forward. The new starting 5 looks terrifying, and the new look Celtics look unstoppable. Now let's take a deeper look at the 5 biggest performers in the Celtics win. Before we get into the impressive start from the new look Boston Celtics, if you enjoy my content and watch a few videos of mine, think about subscribing. 96% of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so if you watched me before and enjoy the content, drop a sub and comment down below. It really helps the channel. As he's been for years now, Jayson Tatum showed on Tuesday that he's still the guy for Boston. He's a legitimate superstar and has a real argument for a top 5 player in the league. He finished 4th in MVP voting last season. He was right back at it against the Knicks, finishing with 28 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals while shooting 60% from the field. He's one of the best one-on-one scorers in the league, and with all the offensive talent around him he has now, he'll get even more opportunities to isolate than ever before. He was taking advantage on Tuesday, and even when he was double-teamed, it didn't really matter. The group of Dante DiVincenzo, Jericho Sims, and Evan Fournier were completely helpless against Tatum. His +9 was the second best among starters for the Celtics. The second guy I want to talk about for Boston is Kristaps Porzingis. I'd say most people didn't realize the bounce-back season he had with the Wizards last year. I'd say it was the best year of his career and that he was Washington's best player. People have been obsessed with Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren this preseason, and for good reason, but they forget Porzingis was the unicorn that came before them. He's spacing the floor, dunking on people, and blocking shots while being 7'3", which is taller than Chet. He continued his great preseason on Tuesday, finishing with 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks, while shooting 62% from the field. His +14 was the best among all starters for Boston. He's looking like an elite two-way presence and could be an all-star this season if the Celtics are as good as they've looked so far. The third standout player was also a new guy in Jrue Holiday. The team's new franchise point guard has quickly settled in with the Celtics, despite being on the team's biggest rival just a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't a huge night in terms of scoring for him, as he had just 10 points and took only 7 shots, but he was doing a little bit of everything on the floor. He had 7 rebounds, which is impressive for a point guard, as well as 4 assists and 2 steals. He was a solid defensive presence, as he always is, and is doing a good job so far of replacing the production they're losing from trading Marcus Smart. The fourth player to talk about is Jaylen Brown. He's going to be under a lot of pressure after signing a $300+ million contract this offseason. He's the highest paid player in the league, and there will be more eyes on him than ever before, but I think he'll be fine. He averaged 27-7 last season, and is one of the best players in the entire league. He would be the number 1 option on a lot of teams. He wasn't super efficient in Tuesday's game, shooting just 6 of 15 from the field, but it was still a solid game overall. He finished with 17 points, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds, showcasing a bit of the increased playmaking that people have been asking for from him. I think his points will likely be lower than they were last season, but that won't mean he's worse. He just has more talent scooping up points around him. Then the last guy I want to show some love to is Sam Hauser. He drew some attention last season as a guy that Celtics fans believed could evolve into a surprisingly solid rotation player. He did play 16 minutes per game last season, but is making a case for over 20 minutes a night this year. He finished with 15 points and shot 43% from 3. He has a valuable NBA skill in that he's a very good shooter. He's not going to be looking for a lot of touches and can just float along the perimeter and hit catch and shoot threes. He's someone who will benefit greatly from all the talent around him, as opposing teams will often be forced to double using Hauser's defender if they want a double team. That will get him open looks from downtown, and like we've seen from Grant Williams in the past, that'll allow him to have some high-scoring nights. The Boston Celtics, I think inarguably, have the best starting 5 in the league. They have 4 legitimate All-Star candidates in Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, and Holiday, 3 of whom were All-Stars last year. Then they have a 5th in Derrick White, who was a playoff hero last year and was just named second-team All-Defense. He's coming off the best year of his career and is a slight step below an all-star caliber player himself. Then they have a cool collection of bench guys in Payton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Oshae Brissett, Delano Banton, Lamar Stevens, and the reliable veteran Al Horford. The team is just extremely talented. And unlike most super teams, they're extremely talented on both offense and defense. All 5 starters are also elite defenders on top of being elite offensively. The lineup is actually insane. The new look Celtics look unstoppable. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.